Right now, we are going to talk about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence comprises of personal skills, means you should develop your own personal skills before you can work with others and lead others as a project manager. Emotionally, you should be self-aware of your emotions. You should be able to regulate your emotions, and also you should stay motivated despite difficulties. That is covered in the personal skills. In interpersonal skills, you need to work and you should know how to work with others, how to sacrifice for others, how to sacrifice for the bigger objectives of the projects. And while empathizing with others, how can you mutually benefit the project? So before we talk about that, let me take you through brief background on why emotions are important, why, in project management, we are talking about emotions and emotional intelligence. So if I look at the nervous system of a human being, so let's say I'm trying to draw a picture. So I hope I'm able to draw. Looks like a human being, right? Okay. Okay. So this is the brain, or let's say if I want to draw the nervous system, so you have got the spinal cord, and then this is the brain. Of course, excuse me for the this is the brain, human being. I'm trying to make a brain, and here so again one more part of the brain. Okay, so the nervous system can be divided into three parts. This we can call it as reptilian brain. Reptilian brain means all the reptiles have got this brain. Okay, so this one is reptilian brain. In the reptilian brain, generally, it is flight and fight responses. You react immediately on a stimulus. So you have a stimulus, and you will immediately react on it. That is your reptilian brain. Fight or flight responses are included there. And this is again triggered by some hormones. Yeah. So all, like we receive some inputs from sensory organs like eyes, nose, ears, etc. And then based on that, immediately within few milliseconds, we react. It automatically happens. Many of the things which are happening in our body, like digestion, uh, heart is beating automatically, all these things are involuntary in nature, and generally it is taken care of by I can call it as a reptilian brain. I'm just using simple words. There are some other words. I'm not going to use those technical words, right? So this is your reptilian brain. Then comes the mammalian brain. So all mammals have got this brain. I can call it as the emotional brain. Mammalian brains, what happens? There is a stimulus. This triggers some emotions. Some hormones are released through different there are some organs which release hormones in our body. Some hormones are released and some emotions are triggered due to these hormones, and based on that emotions you react. You've got one more brain which you can call it as human brain. Only humans have got that, or in humans it's developed relatively more, although this part is there present in everyone, but in humans it's developed a little more. Now human brain, what happens in human brain, also called as neocortex. Maybe because it's new, just appeared in human beings as part of the evolution. Maybe actually I'm not an expert in biology, so excuse me for that I may not be making biologically accurate statements, but try to understand the need for emotional learning. So this is mammalian brain, reptilian brain. In human brain, what happens? You are able to, there's a stimulus. Of course, there will be emotions triggered, but now you have analysis. You have the ability to analyze. You know? Like human beings have the ability to visualize. You can see yourself after 2025, how I will look like. By May 31st, I will be PMP certified. By the way, we also would like to tell you that let us have a target of all of us who are attending this training to become certified by May 31st, yeah, on June 30th at the most. And for that, we'll be creating groups for studying, as we're talking about. So the idea is to pass the examination. Of course, learning is primary objective of our 35 hours, but after that, you should be able to pass the examination. And we have to learn from each other. So we'll have some groups of studies. Those who want to join, you can join. So stimulus, emotions, analyze how I can see myself, how I can, how I'm, let's say, a cat or a dog cannot think, visualize. They can't think what will happen to me after 7 days. They can't think like that. They can't analyze. And then you react. Sometimes the Stephen Covey calls it as proactive, being proactive, analyze. Should have a gap between stimulus and response. So you respond, so you can say response or react. Now, important thing to note is that suppose the effect of neocortex or human brain on decision making on human, when human being is making a decision or acting or doing anything, whatever they do, if this dot, this dot, let's say, represent the influence or the effect of human brain or neocortex on the decision making, can you imagine what is the effect of mammalian brain? How much is the effect of mammalian brain? Can you imagine how much it would be like? Will it be like this much or this much, or how much? It will be more or less. You can, it is more for sure, but it will be how much? Like 10 times, 20 times, 30 times? Any guesses? Brain is almost to the equal to the volume of the room in which you are sitting. So you know which room you are sitting, so it's spacious room, right? It's multiple times. It's means 99%. It's very difficult to characterize. We can only, like an effort estimation in agile, we don't say 3 hours, 5 hours, like this medium large, we say no. Imagine that means most of the things what you do in life, they are emotionally oriented. You're making your decisions based on emotions, not on logic. It's unfortunately it is true. You know the pizza is not good for your health, but you still eat the pizza, right? Logically you know lots of things, but you know that what happens. So your actions are driven by emotions. Now when it is true with you, this is true with others as well. So if you teach people the earned value analysis and network diagram, well, good. In discussions, when you want to convince people, people will not get convinced more through logic, but through emotions. So that is what you have to understand. That is why emotional intelligence, my intelligence about myself, so that I am aware what is going on in my head and how I am feeling, I should be aware. Sometimes people are not even aware. They say, I got angry, I got emotional, I got too emotional, I got stressed. So you're not even aware. So first is you should be aware. Then you should be aware the same thing is true for others. And once you know that, you can manage people better. Another thing, some of the proof why it works. You will see always people like pictures, diagrams, colors, music, stories, isn't it? Logically, see, like for example, you have heard a story. There was a rabbit, there was a tortoise. Tortoise told rabbit, or rabbit told tortoise something that, can't, let us have a race and all that. Now you also know logically tortoise cannot speak to rabbit, rabbit cannot speak to tortoise. You definitely know, but you still tell the story. Everyone knows logically this is all meaningless. There was no tortoise, and no 100% there was none. But you still tell the stories because emotionally people listen, emotionally people understand better. So that is why we are talking about emotions. All the if you see in ancient times, all the books, they used to teach a lot of good things, but they used all stories. There was a king, he was attacked by another king, then this happened, then that happened, and finally good prevails over evil. So these are stories. One person asked another person a question. Okay, I can. No, I'm getting confused. What to do? The other person told, "Oh, this is what it is." Answers. These are, through stories, you are telling logical things. So mothers also tell the same thing. As a project manager, you should be aware of it. So if you are too logical, too technical oriented, you may not be a great successful project manager. So that part was highly underestimated earlier as per PMI, and that has been brought into uh, uh, you know in PMP exam also, and the syllabus as well. That is why people orientation has increased and given more importance. All the processes remain the same. See, those processes related to people have been shifted to people domain, but the emphasis on the people domain has increased more. Okay, so that is about emotional intelligence. Uh, and this is again coming from NLP, of course. These are, but this is nothing like, this is a pure, I would say, logic, nothing related to categorizing for any other knowledge area. And that is why we have got the emotional intelligence. Now let us look at the emotional intelligence. So first is self-awareness elements. What are the self-awareness elements? Self-awareness elements is emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, and self-confidence. In emotional awareness, you should know how are you feeling, and then you should be able to see the connection. You should be able to see the connection between feelings and behaviors. You should be able to, you should be aware. See, what is awareness? Awareness means you should be able to come out of yourself and look at yourself. Now mammals, they don't have, other animals, they don't have this ability. We feel so. We don't know whether they might be having it or not, but as much as far as research goes, we do, animals do, other animals don't have. Human beings have that ability. So emotional awareness, being aware of your own emotions, recognizing how emotions affect performance, and being conscious of values goals. So your performance is directly related to your emotions. So be aware of your emotions. That is one. So you should keep checking. How am I feeling? How am I feeling? How am I feeling? Second, accurate self-assessment. Accurate self-assessment means not only understanding the feelings, but accurately understanding the feeling. You feel that you are relaxed, but actually people are telling you are angry. So you should be accurately doing self-assessment. So ability to do that accurate self-assessment is also important. Becoming aware of blind spots. I hope you know blind spot. Every human being has blind spot. Blind spot means like, if you want, in the classroom, I would do that exercise actually, that, close your one eye and take your thumb towards right and right and right. After some time, you will see the tip of the thumb will disappear. So that is your blind spot. And that is, uh, you can do it later on. So everyone has now why we are able to see the whole picture, because we have two eyes. So one eye is able to take care of other eye's blind spot and vice versa. So we don't have a blind spot if we have got two eyes. Similarly, you have to know that you have weaknesses. Okay, you have weaknesses. You should be aware of those weaknesses. Weak spot, like when I may lose my temper. What makes me lose my temper? Oh, when I see this person. Oh, okay. You should be aware of that. You know your emotional triggers. Okay, emotional triggers. Oh, when I think relaxing beach, or I think of my school, I feel happy, whatever. These are emotional triggers. Self-confidence. Now, once you have developed emotional awareness and accurate emotional awareness, you should be self-confident. You should be able to express potentially unpopular opinions. You should be able to take risk. You should be able to display poise and self-assurance, and having knowledge of self-esteem and proficiency. Oh yeah, you have got good experience. Yes, you should be confident about it. So don't get discouraged by a lot of stakeholders. Contractors will tell a lot of things about you. Your team members will tell a lot of things about you. Still, be confident, have ability in your experience, knowledge, but of course be humble enough to admit your uh, weak areas. So that is about self-awareness. Next, self-regulation. So once you are self-aware, you should be able to regulate yourself. The elements for self-regulation are self-control, so remaining cool under pressure, smiling under stressful conditions. Project manager has to develop that, definitely. And not only project manager, all the people in general have to develop that habit. Staying focused in stressful environment and controlling rash and destructive emotions. So first you are aware of it, then you should be able to control them. Trustworthiness, acknowledging errors, challenging others, a moral conduct, establishing confidence via reputation for honesty, credibility. Yeah. Standing by principles, behaving in morally correct way above suspicion. As much as possible, as we see everyone commits mistakes, acknowledging our own mistakes and also giving space to others if they commit mistakes. Conscientiousness, conscience is talking about conscience, right? Conscientiousness, right? Conscientiousness. Okay. Difficult to pronounce the word. Okay. So you should be your conscience. You have a conscience, right? Which keeps telling you what is the right thing. That's what is conscience. Conscience means that there is an inner voice in you which keeps telling you that you are doing right, you're doing wrong. Listen to that voice. Okay. Having well-ordered, meticulous approach to work, being accountable for fulfilling goals, satisfying obligations, delivering on promises. Adaptability. Adapting to changing events. Things will change. You're not talking about the change request which you are bombarded with as a project manager. There will be many. The sponsor will say, no, I want to change this, I want to change that. There will be so many things. Being adaptable. Interpreting events in a flexible way. Be flexible. Agility is all about being flexible and fast, right? Handling numerous demands and changing priorities. Then comes innovation. Bubbling with new ideas. Ability to change will bring element of innovation. I am ready to listen to others' ideas, considering innovative answers to problems. Listen to others, embracing new approaches and possibilities. Maybe I have 30 years of experience, but maybe I don't have enough knowledge. New things have come into the market. There are new technologies, new expertise. Listen to others, and then only you will grow, isn't it? Looking for novel ideas. So be creative and allow others to be creative. And then motivational elements. Motivational elements are being motivated always. You'll have difficulties. Yeah, but staying motivated, feeling positive always, setting tough goals, taking chances, driving hard to get results, discovering how to upgrade capabilities, and striving to minimize uncertainty. You can't eliminate uncertainty, but you can minimize uncertainty. So have an achievement drive. Commitment, be able, be ready to sacrifice. See, commitment comes through sacrifices. So if you are committed to something, you have to sacrifice something else. Making decisions based on team's core principles, not your own benefits, not keeping your benefit all not always in your mind, but always team and projects benefit. More importantly, projects. Always you think about project. Committed to the project first, then be committed to yourself and others. Yeah, that's what they say. Realizing benefit in comprehensive quest, sacrificing to fulfill company goal, searching for opportunities to achieve team's mission, realizing benefit in comprehensive quest. Remember that whatever you are going to achieve, let it be team's achievement. You will achieve more if you are able to make others also achieve. Your achievement will multiply. Initiative, working above and beyond towards goal, inspiring others through extraordinary feats. Keep doing new things. People should look up to you as an example. Oh, he can do that, why not we? Cutting through rules to finish jobs. So there are certain rules. We're not talking about the main, we're not talking about being unethical. Cutting through rules to finish the job means there are some rules are made to simplify the things, not complicate the things. You can just look at those rules. If they are necessary, follow. If not, you can just uh, cut through them. Or being, this basically it is similar to being innovative, but not, it's not, definitely not suggesting that you should not follow the rules at all. Grabbing opportunities, if there is a opportunity to improve, if there is an opportunity to learn things, if looking at every difficulty as an opportunity and take an initiative to solve that problem. Optimism, hoping to succeed instead of fearing failure. Yeah, so everything is going wrong, but still keep calm, stay optimistic. Seeing reversals as caused by controllable factors. So all problems, if you have attended my green belt or black belt, we talk about Y and X factors, right? Cause and effect diagram. We'll talk about anyway. I'm going to take the quality module in a short while. So we'll talk about the X and Y factors. So focus on the factors which are causing the problem. Don't focus on the problem. The result of the problem is not in your hand, but the factors which are influencing the problem, they are in your hand. Work on those factors rather than worrying about the effect or the results. So working towards goals and regardless of the barriers, that is what it's optimism about. So empathy, what do we mean by empathy? Empathy means, see, pathy means feeling, and empathy means you should be able to be in the shoes of others. Means you should understand what others are feeling. So having respect to the feeling of other people, and also ability to understand their situation. So that is known as empathy. So it definitely has one important element of understanding others. Yeah, so now coming to the social skills. So social skills. So once you have, now if you go back, so we have seen personal skills, and we have also seen there are three important things you need to develop in personal skills: self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. Now let us look at the interpersonal skills, because you can't succeed alone. You have to have a team. So even your personal goals you might be having can be achieved only with the help of others. So how to develop and what are the key areas you need to focus on in interpersonal skills? So here we are talking about communication, building bonds, collaboration and cooperation, change catalyst, conflict management, influence, leadership, and team capabilities. First, the communication. Yeah. So important to communicate. Communication model, sender, receiver. You should be able to encode your message in a proper language or gesture, or whichever way you want to communicate, in an email, in a nowadays videos. Yeah. So you should be able to communicate effectively. Here your language skills matter a lot. Yeah. So managing tough problems directly, effectively exchanging information, cultivating clear communication, and achieving a mutual awareness. So in the sender receiver model, whatever you are communicating, you have to encode it and send it to the receiver. The receiver has to decode it. The receiver should be able to understand that. Now there may be some issues, because sometimes you may not be able to encode properly whatever you want to communicate. You may not be able to express. Maybe you are able to express, but the person on the other side, he or she may not be able to understand what you are saying. So decoding might be a problem. Now, in this case, you have to identify those areas. If there is a problem, resolve them. And if this person is able to decode and you feel that this person is understood, you have to have a feedback loop. Means you have to ask the person saying that, can you tell me what have you understood? And based on what they have understood, what they tell you, if they are telling the same thing or giving the same message, what you intended to communicate, is the same message you are receiving also from the receiver. That means the communication loop is complete. That means you are able to communicate effectively, and the communication has happened with 100% quality. Building bonds, building connections with colleagues, going on lunches, dinners, very important. Keeping others informed. Many times the surprises are the sometimes the surprises are the causes of conflicts. I never knew that this is happening. Searching for mutually rewarding relationships. Collaboration and cooperation. Collaboration and cooperation means fostering a collaborative environment, nice environment, happy environment. You have to develop that as a team member or a project manager. One more thing, now, unlike earlier, when you're writing a PMP exam, it was assumed that you are the project manager. Means all questions were based on what project managers would do. But now some questions are in general, like you may be a team member also of a project. So think from that perspective as well. Although still, most of the questions are based on how a project manager would respond, but there can be a possibility to think on that lines also. So collaboration is important, and collaboration and cooperation. Fostering a collaborative environment, cultivating options for cooperation, balancing job duties and professional relationships. Sometimes there might be a conflict. In fact, you also have to remember that your family is also one of the stakeholders. Yeah, as a project manager, your family is also one of the stakeholders. So even you have to manage them as well, especially if you're traveling. Your 5-star hotel, Dubai 5-star hotel, which we are planning. As a project manager, you are staying in, let's say, in Chennai. and you have to travel for 1 or 2 years. Maybe your family has to shift from one city to another city. So they are also your important stakeholders. Thinking of collaboration, cooperation, working together, sharing strategies, knowledge, assets. Change catalyst. You are the change catalyst. So first you be open to change, and then you bring in the change. And for that, of course, you have to develop the personal skills, which we saw earlier. And once you are a person who has developed those personal skills, emotional skills with respect to, in context of emotional intelligence, then you can be a change catalyst. So people should see the benefits of changes through your behavior. So advocate for change, appreciate importance of change, and exhibiting change anticipated of others. All these things are important for being a change catalyst. Catalyst is something which someone who is, in chemistry you must have studied in school. Catalyst doesn't take part in the reaction, but the presence of catalyst enables the reaction. So the catalyst not there, the reaction will not take place. But so as a project manager, if I remember earlier, I had given an example, like a film director. Film director doesn't act, doesn't write story, doesn't write the script, doesn't score the music, but presence of film director makes the film happen, right? Otherwise, your film directors, the writers and musicians and singers and can come together, yeah, and they can still produce a film. So change catalyst, presence of someone makes the thing happen. Be a change catalyst. And how can you be the change catalyst? Of course, the answer is there. First, develop those personal skills. And to succeed in projects, you have to develop the interpersonal skills as well. Conflict management. So conflicts are good. If there are no conflicts in your project, that means nothing is happening. Or people are compromising. But if people are having lots of conflicts, means, oh no, I don't agree with you, I disagree, I don't think the length should be this much, I don't think this should take 4 days, no, I don't think it's going to cost so much money. These things are good. Conflicts are good. So if conflicts are happening, they should be, see, remember that conflicts are because of, always they're going to benefit the projects. Very few people, there are some people, of course, we're not saying that all conflicts are beneficial. Some people are like, just for the sake of creating problems, they'll create that. So they will be hardly 5-10% people, but 90-95% of the cases, the conflicts will be meaningful. You have to find the root causes, detecting clashes. First, I understand that conflict has occurred. Sometimes people, they hush, brush up under the carpet, keep quiet, doesn't matter, will not tell anyone. No, bring it up, moving disputes into the open, confronting them, confronting the disputes. So whenever there is a conflict, confront the people, find the root cause, managing difficult individuals, urging open discussion of issues, engineering resolution for both sides. The conflicting sides, you should be able to resolve them. How to resolve? Of course, don't blame the people. All people are good. Everyone is good in his own way. So you have to think about others, isn't it? Empathize, develop empathy. Once you know how the person is feeling, then only you can help resolve those conflicts. Influence, polishing presentations. Whenever you are making presentations, revise, rehearse, practice, and present yourself in a proper way. Winning people over, coordinating impressive events to sell an idea. Many times it happens. These are again, some people say, oh, come to the point why you are telling stories. Come to the point why this event is required. No, look, remember that mammalian brain. We have mammalian brain, isn't it? Leadership, stimulating interest for collective vision and goal. Yeah, vision. A lot of countries now, worldwide, I'm not talking about any one country. You may look at mostly all the leaders now have a vision. They have vision 2030, vision 2035, or some target. Let us be this type of economy. Let us be this vision. Be a visionary. With a vision as a leader, you can stimulate interest. And it has to be collective, not your own vision. It should be bought in by the team. Modeling effective leadership, taking on leadership roles regardless of official title. Now, sometimes, oh, I am not the manager. Why should I lead? No, title will come to you, right? Don't wait for the title to lead. You lead, title will come to you. And many times title is not there, but people know who's the leader. In your organization, you know people. They don't have fancy titles, but you know who's the real leader, right? So regardless of the official title, take on the leadership role. Directing others' performance. Directing others' performance. Team capability is building team charter. So we have seen that Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, or diversity, including Miss A, Miss B, Miss C. Yeah. We have to include diversity. Building the team's character. Attracting group members. People should like to work in your project. They should not run away from you. Oh, this project manager, no, sorry. Let me look for another project. So people should be attracted to your group, your team. Displaying team characteristics. You should be aware of team characteristics, events, organize events, musical evenings. All these things really matter a lot. Safeguarding team and its good name. These are all social skills. Try to develop. Oh, you will become a Superman if you. Okay. Interpersonal and team skills. So we have, we'll talk about active listening in the next slide. Communication styles assessment. You should be able to assess the communication styles of the people, the different styles. Emotional intelligence, influencing, motivation. Nominal group technique means when you are trying to make a decision, you ask people to rank on different points. Then according to the ranks, you take the sum total of the ranking and you can make a decision about whatever you want to decide. That is known as nominal group technique, NGT. Like, should we do this 1, 2, 3, 4? Let's say we have 10 options. I'll tell everyone, okay, rank according to your choice. So people will give different ranks. Then I'll take the sum total of all the ranks and I can find very easily for the group, number 1 rank is A, number 2 rank is C, and so on and so forth. Political awareness. You should be, people don't like politics, but you should be aware of politics. What is politics? Politics is strength of the group. Alone you can't achieve anything, but together people can achieve many things. Strength of the group. Politics is a good thing, really. So you should be aware of the power of politics, then political groups which are present in your organization. Yeah. You know who's aligned to whom. You should be aware of that. And transparency, these are the things. Active listening, when you want to listen actively, you should be able to reflect. What is reflect? Repeat the gist of the message. So when you are having a discussion with someone, you should repeat. Now, don't repeat the words as it is. You should repeat the content. Repeat the content. Like suppose someone says, well, I think the project is going to be delayed. So what is reflecting? Repeating the gist. It's not like, oh, you think that project is going to be delayed? No, it's not. It's just repeating, not mirroring. It should be, oh, okay. As per you, I think we will not be able to complete on time. So what you are doing, you are exactly the same content, but in different words with the same feeling. Feeling is also important. So suppose I think we project is going to be delayed. So you're, in case you're reflecting, so you'll say, well, I think you don't you think that we'll not be able to complete on time, and the same concern you have to show. It's not like I think oh, that means you think that you are not you think that we'll not complete on time. No, that is not reflecting. Both content and feelings, both should be there. And verify understanding. You are verifying. So he'll say, yeah. Yes, that's what. So this is a very good, this one is active listening. Not like listening to reply. Let him complete and I'll reply. No, that's not reflective or active listening. Most of the time we are always, okay, finish it off. After that, I have many points to say, like a TV debate. I'm not listening to what you are saying. No empathic listening there. I have to be against you. Even if you are telling something right, still I have to be against you. That's not reflective. Means repeat the same message with the different words with the same feelings. Lean slightly towards the speaker, stay at eye level. So if he's standing, you stand. If she's sitting, you sit. So you have to maintain eye contact without staring. So you have to maintain eye contact but without staring. Yeah. Important. Following, respond with non-verbal gesture or verbal response. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. Huh? Ah, okay. These are non-verbal gesture responses. Wow. Wow. These are all non-verbal responses. Ask questions. You know, if you ask questions, that means person will understand that you are listening, actively listening. Just keeping quiet, that it's not active listening. Allow speaker a moment to collect their thoughts. Okay. When you are asking questions, don't immediately wait for the answer. Allow the speaker some time to collect the thought to give a better answer. Not reactive answer, but proactive answer. After analyzing, the speaker can give a better answer. There are lots of personality profile assessments available in the market. You can go to Google, you can use any of them. Theory of psychological types, MBTI. I did an MBTI in Jamnalal Bajaj. I still remember Dr. Chas Hegel was my teacher then, and she had conducted this for a whole class. And I came to know then that I'll be a good consultant. So I was working in production as a chemical engineer in some petrochemical company. So, you know, suddenly I realized that I can be a good consultant. So, you know, then I shifted my career. So, personality profile assessments. Okay, FireOB. I remember it was FireOB. Yeah, it's not mentioned here. So there are so many things, so many tools available. PMI will not ask you any questions related to that. They will not ask you what is TRACOM, etc., or what is social style model, etc. But be aware that these things are available to take advantage. And as a project manager, you should be able to assess personality profiles of all your team members. Tell them, most of them are freely available. You have to just answer some questions, agree, disagree. Most of the time, they will ask you questions, and based on that they will assess, okay, Mr. A is having this type of personality, you can deal with that person in a better way. Organizational theory. So how do organizations work? The organization's behavior, how do they work? Purpose of organizational theory is maximizing efficiency and productivity of the individuals, the ability to solve problems and motivating people, and meeting stakeholders' requirements. Some of the theorists are, famous theorists are Maslow theory, very famous, 5 levels. The level 1 is physiological needs. Physiological needs, food, shelter, etc. Physiological needs. Safety needs, like security, I should be safe. Belonging, sense of belonging, membership, I should be part of the team, contributing to the team. People should recognize me, acknowledge me at least. Esteem means people should look up to me. Esteem. Self-actualization. Well, you have achieved everything and then you are giving back. Multiplying effect, multiplier. So you have to identify, when you're dealing with the team members, you have to identify where is this person placed. Every person in your team will be either level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So if suppose he is at level 1, physiological, he will be more worried about, say, some increment, or give me around 5,000 rupees increment, 3,000 real increment. They're most worried about basic needs. So maybe money can motivate him. Some people may be worried about safety. Oh, in today's situation, I want a secure job. So ensuring a secure job, can motivate that person. Or not only job, I'm telling, ensuring that place in the team, you are doing a good, some prestigious project, and you can assure that person, well, you are there in the team for like next one year. So you can motivate. See, you can motivate the people once you know at what level they are. Belonging, the person is already safe, happy, secure, real good expert in this area, and there is no security issue. He knows, if this team, if I don't work in this team, I'll have another team. Then belonging, sense of belonging, ability to the team to connect with that person. Love, that's what you can think of, providing that, to motivate the person. If the person is already secure, all things are taken care of, is loved by the team members, everything, then you will like to give them some responsibility as team developer. You are made the regional director. And if a person already has that, like Bill Gates. No, Bill Gates, you can't motivate Bill Gates, but there is a 1 million opportunity there, 2 million opportunity, he'll not get motivated. But self-actualization, he will be more motivated. Oh, there is an opportunity to help some 1 million people in this particular region. That motivates. There's a possibility of you giving back to the society, where you can utilize your skills. Self-actualization. Think about how to motivate others. Very few people will be at level 5. So you have to identify your team, where they are. Each member will be different level. McGregor theory of X and Y. This X and Y theory means, one theory says that everyone doesn't want to work. You have to look, people are working or not. You have to keep an eye. People generally would like to relax. They would not like to work. That's theory X. Theory Y says, no one in this world wants not to work. Everyone wants to prove themselves. No one comes to the organization thinking, today I will destroy this setup. Today I will commit mistakes. Today I will make my customers unhappy. That's theory Y. You can be believer of theory X, or you can be believer of theory Y. If you believe theory X, then your behavior leadership style will be different. You'll put people, you'll have supervisors, different layers you'll have. In agile teams, there are no supervisors and supervisors. You have servant leadership, right? Leader acts like a servant. Facilitate the team, train the team, ensure the team has got all the resources so that team can perform. That is what is servant leadership. Maybe it's theory Y, theory X. It's not that one theory is good, one theory is bad. It's not like that. It can be applicable in certain situations. Theory X is required. You know, in certain situations you have theory Y. So be aware of that. Apply appropriate theory. McClelland's achievement theory. Achievement theory means if you achieve this, you will get this. If you achieve this, you will get this. You can use that to motivate people. Herzberg's motivation theory. Herzberg's motivation theory talks about, see, when you are having different factors, the different factors which are going to motivate people. So this is a motivated employee and this is a demotivated employee. Okay. And this is the factor, presence of the factor and absence of the factor. Presence of the factor, absence of the factor. So these are known as hygiene factors. Hygiene spelling is, I think, yeah, hygiene, yeah. Hygiene factors. Hygiene factors, these things should be present. These factors will not motivate, but they, if they are absent, will demotivate. And these are motivators. If they are not present, will not demotivate. So this is neutral employee. Okay, they will not demotivate, but if they are present, will motivate. So for example, giving salary on time is a hygiene factor. Giving salary on first of the month is a hygiene factor. Means if you don't give the salary on time, person will be demotivated. If you give the salary on time, person will be neutral. The employee will be say, oh, fine, okay, what's great deal about it? Okay. Now motivators are like recognition, giving a sudden award. Oh, today management has decided to give you $200 as a reward because you handle this customer really well. Motivators. So these recognitions, if they are not present, if you don't give that $200, that's fine. Means employee is neutral, but if you give, employee is happy. So that is about Herzberg's motivation theory. You can use, you be aware of those theories. These are theories. Now you don't have to master those theories, obviously, but you should be aware of, and you should be able to seek help. You should know that HR experts do exist in this world who are experts in these theories, and you can seek help at the right time when you are managing the team. Okay, so these are the guidelines for building emotional intelligence with key stakeholders. Recognize your emotions, access how your emotions, attitudes, actions, behaviors control you. Observe, this is not the other person, but you yourself control yourself, right? Emotions, your emotions control you, not the weather, not the outside factors. They are not controlling you at all. Recognize that. Observe how your emotions affect those around you. So you are enthusiastic, people around you are enthusiastic. You are depressed, everyone will be depressed. Take note of physical non-verbal cues of others. Shrug, smile, etc. Interpret those cues against the context, situation, and your emotions. Remain mindful of the emotions of others. Mirror the behaviors of others when suitable to become better connected. Yeah. Practice, mirror the behavior of others. So if someone is enthusiastic, be enthusiastic. Someone is sad, little bit empathize. Practice controlling or changing your emotions to better suit the situation. Yeah, that is also important. the person is sad and you're enjoying and happy, definitely it will backfire. Yeah, so so that were the learning goals of the whole module: inspire, motivate, and influence the team members and stakeholders, appraise team performance against key performance indicators, determine, prioritize, and remove impediments, obstacles, and blockers for team, investigate and interpret the source and stage of a conflict, and recommend an appropriate conflict resolution solution, evaluate stakeholder engagement needs and influence stakeholders to accomplish project objectives, recognize mentoring opportunities and mentor relevant stakeholders, promote team performance through the application of emotional intelligence. That's what we learned in module 4.